Well, hello everyone. This is an introduction or a review of a timex 1976 viscount automatic 25-meter diver's watch. This one came from France. What had happened, I got it, nice condition, not a mark on it, just to turn it over the sea. No scratches. Dial's good. Hands are good. Case is good. But the movement was much to be desired. It was making a hell of a noise. So what I did, I'm going to show you now what I did. I have another timex here. The dial, I didn't like the dial at all. Let's try and give me a bit of, take that off. Try to get it so you can see it. So what I did, as you can see, I stripped down this one, took that movement out of that other one, and put the movement that was in this one into that one. What was happening, the movement was, it just sounded like a bucket of bolts. You can't really hear it on the camera, but it's it sounds like it's like a bloody Kango going into a piece of concrete. And what I'm going to do is show you the movement. Let's hope it's not too dark. That's the movement, ladies. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you roughly how this movement actually works. An automatic movement. What it actually does, you'll notice there's this sort of cam here with a weight, which is this oscillator weight, has a concentric sort of circle underneath there. And what it does is it rocks this arm. I won't be able to do it holding a camera, I don't think. See what I mean? It rocks this arm backwards and forwards to wind it up. There's like on there, it's like a paw and claw that moves. When it moves up and down, it ratchets that little index wheel, and then charges up the spring in that drum. As you can see, the balance wheel's going. The second hand spindler's against this towel, that's why it's slowing down. But it was, it's not running right. It's making a noise like it's a double beating. It sounds dreadful. And also the balance wheel is loose in the cone, so it sounds even worse. This is what happens to these watches if you stand them by. They just don't like it. And you've got to wear them for a few days to loosen up. But this one sounded particularly bad, and I thought, well, the other movement does sound a little bit slightly over swing, but that will sort itself out. But this one isn't going to sort itself out. It's just too bloody noisy. And the rotor sounded like a bag of bolts as well. So well, on the other movement, the rotor sounded as bag as bolts. So all I had to do is take the rotor off of the other one, stick it onto the other movement, and make a good watch. So what you get is this unit here. You get the face, the date wheel, the weight, the case, that, and obviously the hands. And then you've got the motion wheels that run the hands, the hour wheel, the minute wheel, the cannon pinion, and the winder. So this is how roughly, and if I show you how the movement comes out, because I got a bucket of bolts, a bucket of old timexes here. You've got this little ring. That little ring retains the movement in that case. If I open the case, inside that case is a little well, and that spring fits in there tight against that bottom of the movement to hold it. So you had to pry that thing out using a jeweler's screwdriver, undo the thing that holds the winder in. There's a little lever that goes on top of the winder. You have to undo the screw, don't take it right out. Pull the stem out, take that ring out, and the movement should fall out. The face here, it's not a bad little face. A few of the indices of print has worn off. I think it was like that when I had it. The problem with these faces, I want to show you something, if I can. Yeah, there you are. You got like these little bendy tabs That's how you take the face off. If you bend those too much, you'll break them off and then you won't get the face back on. Unless you glue it, of course, from behind. That is the major problem with a lot of Timexes, particularly the this one, the other one that I've got. There's like a face holder that attaches to the movement with 3 tabs. This one doesn't have it, and I'll show you why. This movement dial face plate is screwed on with 3 screws. Therefore, you've got to remove that. You cannot remove this by bending 3 tabs inside the movement. So with this one, the only way you can take that off is bending those tabs on the face, and that's what buggers the faces up. They're made of a kind of copper or brass, and it's very brittle. You muck around with that, it just snaps off like a carrot. The idea is to bend those without bending them too much. If you bend them at a sharp angle and then bend them back, they'll break straight away like a carrot. If you just bend them just enough to get the face off, you can reuse that. But you'll only use it once. If I was to bend that back round there and use it again, it would probably break. Nothing wrong with that face. I don't like it. It's too dark. I don't like Roman numerals. I refer to them as scratches. I haven't got good eyesight, and why do I want lots and lots of diverging lines for? I don't. So I got the watch. It was fairly cheap. I thought I'd like it, and I didn't. So I just said, I know what I'll do. I'll take that watch there and put the other one in there. There was a little bit of rust on the other one around here. I think must have water got in, so I cleaned it. Nothing really a great deal, and put a couple of drops of oil into that winding bit. So that movement's okay. It probably wants cleaning, oiling, and puts a bit of wear. It's got no wear as such to it. There's no wear to it. I mean, the watch is nearly new. I think it's just the movement's a bit faulty. I have a feeling that I could repair that without too much trouble. So what I'm going to do is put the bits back into that, and watch out I don't tip any of that out. That's the case. So if anybody out there wants a case for a silver case for a 1974, I believe this one is, automatic viscount, you never know. You might be lucky, if you're kind to me, to have a really nice case with little wear on it. If you creep round me and offer me 15 cups of tea and a box of chocolates and a couple of packs of crisps or something, if you're local, that is. So there's the watch. It's 1976. It's a timex viscount sports watch. People say diver. It's not a diver's watch. 25 meters is not a diver's watch. It's more a sports watch. It probably would fill up if you took it out today. The glass was horrendously scratched. I've polished most of it out, apart from one nick there, which casts a shadow on the dial. I've still got to have another go at getting it out. As you can see, it's there. 2 little pop marks. I have spent ages trying to get that out. And there is a point where you're probably going to go through the dial if you're not careful. And you won't get it all out. So you say, I'll get what I can. As you can see, that it's another one of those watches. You turn it, and it's shiny. It means it's got little wear to it, and it's in good condition. As you can see, it's nice and shiny, not an example. £42 on eBay. It said Montre French Automatique. I don't know what they said for divers. I couldn't pronounce that. It's not with a P. £42. I just say how much it was in euros. And it took 4 days to come here. The ring is fine. There's no wear on it. My suggestion is the watch hasn't been used much because of the noisy movement. It really did make an absolute row. It sounded like a bucket of bolts. It was like somebody had hold of the winder and they were turning it with a pair of pliers. And it's going, It sounded like that, as though somebody had hold of the winder and they were just holding it. It sounded absolutely dreadful. So that movement had to go. I wasn't going to muck around with it. To take the movement apart, when I've already got a movement that runs, let's be fair, I just as well to use the damn movement I got, hadn't I? So anyway, that's a little bit about the Timex divers and different things that had to be done to it. The hands went on okay. The second hand went down a little bit too far, so I had to slightly bend it up and push it with a blade just to heighten it a bit more. Absolute pain, it just went down too far. And I thought if I tried to get it off and go push it back down again, there's no pipe, it's just a hole drilled into it. It'll open out the hole and it won't stay on there. So I didn't want to cause too many problems. So there was another little look at it, just to prove a point. And now it's too dark. A Timex 1976 viscount, as I call it, Diver's watch. There we go.